If you had 6 full days for the 7, what would you do? I would want to have 2 practice scores properly remediated with scores, and I'd also like to continue laying base. It also depends on whether you're full-time or part-time. If you're full-time, that means you got 4 days of study, because the 5th day you got to relax, because you got to recharge, pause, and reset before the actual exam. So Brian looks like he has some thoughts on this. Brian, I'm putting you
know, how many times do we answer this question every day?
Mm-hmm.
And it's an important question. There's no doubt about it, right? You know, we used to, Dean and I being around this business for so long, there used to be an attitude that you take as many practice finals as possible. Well, nowadays you really don't want to do that, right? The last 7 to 10 days, simulated exam, performance tracker to identify the weak areas, and then remediate those areas, right? That's where Dean and my videos can also come in. You know, there's a lot of content on these exams, right? So you go through Dean's playlist, you go through my video course, right, once, and there's still a lot of content. Doesn't hurt to go through it a second or third time, especially on those weak areas. And then you can take a short quiz on those particular weak areas. And then, watch this, rinse and repeat. That's what you do. Simulated exam, find the weak areas, remediate. Then take another simulated exam, see if there's an improvement. Performance tracker. Are they the same weak areas? Is there another weak area? Remediate. Man, I'm telling you, that formula is really successful to get that score up over that 72, 73, whatever it needs to be.
Okay? Greg, the other thing I would tell you is that, you know, the idea of just mindlessly doing practice exams is a waste of time. How many times, Brian, like 6 days, and they're trying to knock out, you know, 3 practice tests? Yeah, it's just foolish. Again, it's foolish because you want to spend as much time remediating the exam, what Brian's talking about, to identify those areas that you can work on as you do actually taking the exam. And there's no way you can be doing remediation if you're just rifling through practice tests. So it's not this idea of trying to get as many done as you want. You want to use them as data points, right? So as Brian said, if I were your corporate trainer, I'm not, but I said, I'd like to get 2 more practice test scores, data. I'd like to then, you know, I usually in a tutoring relationship, say, let's talk after those test scores. Let's see what we can work on. And then we rinse and repeat, as Brian said. But you don't rinse and repeat by just doing practice tests. The rinse and repeat is the whole entire process. Follows after you do a practice test, right?